So this is part 2 for the new moon reading at the 14th of June. And now for the very first time, I do something that all the big influencers always do, even if they have thousands of followers. Please subscribe to my channel. You're really helping me by doing that. Just give it one click, and that helps. Every thumb up helps. Really, it does. Okay, so and now I want to talk especially about Venus, because she will have a big impact on us in a very positive way. First of all, she is in the ninth house, and the ninth house is equivalent to Sagittarius. And I personally call Sagittarius the keeper of the sacred flame. It's really this is really the place of real priesthood. And it's the last fire sign where the fire is in service to all that is. Yeah. And so the ninth house is a house of philosophy, of creating ideals. And here we have Venus, who has come through the motherhood part. She came out of Cancer, and had with all the wisdom gathered from the mother love, from motherhood. Now she's a queen. She's becoming queen in Leo, and a ruler. The queen is a ruler. And she is so beautifully connected here to Uranus. And Uranus is, let me reset that and blow it up a little bit for you here. Uranus is in conjunction with Sedna. You see here, Sedna. And Sedna is a dwarf planet and has a very special story. She's the ocean goddess of the Inuit, the far northern people in the ice. And the story is that her father wanted to rescue her from an abusive husband or anything of that nature. And they came into a storm, and their boat was in danger to be capsized. And so she was in the water, and she held on to the boat, and the boat was about to sink if she would hold on. So her father took a knife or a sword or what have you, something sharp, and cut off her finger, so that she slipped back into the ocean and drowned. And what happened to her is she became immortalized, and her fingers became all the fish. So that's the story from the Inuit. And that is the story also of the self-sacrificing woman. And here, this self-sacrificing woman that is part of a lot of us women, ladies, yeah, is now in Gemini. I call Gemini the reporter, the journalist, and tells about how it feels. Sacrificed by their own father, by her own father. And I mean, think about the girls that are sold into marriage, which is another form of slavery, like, with 8-9 years already in some places, yeah. This is kind of a sacrifice, yeah. That is not about love. Marriage is not about love. It's about pure slavery and often into abuse. So Sedna now is telling this story. And each of us, somewhere we have this, self-sacrificing, self-destructive even traits as women. Yeah. And what happens on this particular day where we can open, new moon, we can always open a portal, but a portal not to some what I don't like this expression, dark forces. I do not associate direct with evil. I would say selfish. Let's put it selfish. Selfish. It's a selfish energy that sacrifices others instead of themselves. Yeah. So at this particular time, we can open a portal to Venus as a queen. And she will heal this wound of being, I mean, basically murdered by your own father in a brutal way. When that hurts, cut off your fingers, please, and then you're in the icy water. And maybe you don't feel much because it's so cold. But anyhow, it's horrible. Think about it. Yeah? And what has happened to so many women? Becoming brutalized and killed in so many horrible ways. Yeah. Not to mention from childbirth going wrong, mistreated by some male uh, uh, doctors that they didn't respect any experienced midwives, because like in Europe at a certain time they were all killed as witches. They were burned alive. Yeah, that's when the women started to suffer so much through childbirth. And so all this, Venus is now looking at it in a most compassionate way, because she's also here. I told you, nah, in the last video, she's so beautifully connected here. And then we have this connection between the all embracing lover, the all infinitely compassionate lover, and here Neptune is very, very positive aspected, because if Neptune is not positive aspected, and you can look it up in your personal chart or ask me to do that, there is always danger for drug addiction, trying shortcuts through some all kind of drugs, which goes nowhere on the long run. And but here, uh, uh, Neptune is at its purest, and I want again to highlight here the fifth house. That is where that's where the queen comes out into the limelight. Yeah, and here we have Saturn, and Saturn is in conjunction with a dwarf planet called Lehua Kuhonua. And the meaning of that is a flock of birds, migrational birds, who never, ever stop flying until they have reached home. And that's a very deep story, because it's like, actually, it's a spiritual story. I don't know who of you is familiar with the Sufi term baraka. Yeah, where is the story that once upon a time people had to leave their island. They were evacuated for one or the other reason, and they went into a land where the life wasn't so nice and so beautiful and so peaceful as they knew it from their island. And but they arranged themselves, and most of them, their offspring, further generations forgot. But some remembered this yearning for their island home, for their beautiful island home. And this yearning was called baraka. You have the word bark, a boat, bark, it derives from that, but it is the yearning for a spiritual home that is the symbol, or the metaphor of this influence, and it is in conjunction with Saturn. Let me reset the whole thing. Yeah. But in first fire sign, Aries. And there is a fantastic chance for artistic expression actively. We can go out and we can tell our story. We can sing our story. We can act our story. We can dance our story. We can paint our story to show what is really about the female queen, the queen. We've been bowing and being enslaved by kings. Now, what about a queen? I mean, Queen Victoria. The moment that earthly women come in these ruler positions, they're mostly doing the same as men, and if not worse, warmongering and what have you, and cruelty. But we're talking about a motherly queen, like Queen Liliuokalani, for instance, who was not ruling by force. She was not ruling by fear. She was expressing love for her people. And until today, she's loved back by her people. And many people, even here in Hawaii, they claim to have a spiritual connection. You have spiritual connection to your ancestors, to certain saints, to your guardian spirits. That's a common thing. Yeah. So Venus is there as a queen, and she is really like when Queen Liliuokalani says, I love you people. I'll always love you. I'm doing whatever I do. I do for you. That has power. That has a tremendous power, and it is until today, it's there. I'm just giving this example because I'm talking here from the Hawaiian Kingdom in continuity. And that's why I talk about Hawaii's last queen. But it's an example for a certain kind of female power that right now it's so much needed. And that's why we have it here in the House of Ideals. We have to proclaim this gentle rulership, loving rulership, not rulership with violence and threats, but with care. This idea, we are forming it here and now, and it's the most needed. Not that I personally have nothing against men, seriously, but I have something against the imbalance. Yeah, there is no the partnership between men and women has been so badly disturbed since such a long time. Yeah, the what is happening now between men and women is it's a war. We have to stop that. Yeah, we need the understanding how we are living in a in a in a bipolar creation. We always have the two poles, but if one of the poles is out of zinc, the whole thing can collapse. Yeah. So that's where we're at. Now I want to reset this and again want to show you this beautiful triangle here. Uranus. Uranus is acting very fast and is full of surprises. So stories coming out from women, from the female, from this aspect of being sacrificed by men physically, yeah, is coming out. These stories are told, and there is Venus, the queen here, yeah, and here we have this connection, 60-degree angle. Then we have the other 60-degree angle to the so compassionate and well aspected from all sides Neptune, the great, the source of compassion, of empathy, of understanding, of letting be, of non-judgment, what have you. Yeah, this is Neptune. So we have this triangle here, and Venus on the top. Yeah. Okay. Look, I could tell a lot more about all this, but I really need all of you who listen to me, the few of you. Please let me know. Give me some comments. Give me thumbs up. I really, really need it to go on. Sometimes I don't even like to do these readings because for whom? If it's not acknowledged, I please acknowledge it. I thank you so much, and then I may continue it. Bye bye.